Hello and good morning. I say good morning. It's morning currently. Yeah, thank you for tuning in. You're tuned into The Encourager. And my name is Nehru. It is December 27th, I believe. And I hope your holiday weekend was wonderful. If you are not on an extended break, such as our teenagers and children who are in school or college. College is out now too. So, yeah, enjoy your time with your family and your loved ones. If you're traveling, be safe, be wise, pay attention to your intuition and how it's guiding you. Be sure to constantly cleanse your energy. And one of the things that the main reason why I pressed record this morning was to talk about, I was encouraged to talk about transmuting and alchemizing the energies and things, and not specifically just doing it, but unique techniques that has helped me to spiritually ascend to where I am today. And I encourage you to go beyond where I am. And again, all that I share with you, or most that I share with you, are, I was going to say instinctive, but that is true too. Spiritually instinctive, not earthly instinctive, not 3D instinctive. So, yesterday also, I noticed I listened to the recording yesterday, and I think I only posted one video yesterday. But I had a hood on, and I noticed that because I wear earbuds, it was like making the scraping, like it was rubbing, and it was picking up that noise. So I apologize for that. Now that I know that, I won't, I'll be sure not to wear hoodies when I'm recording, especially when I have the earbuds in. So anyway, yes, so transmuting and alchemizing the spell work that the enemy, your false friends, just people who are against you, and you have no idea. I truly believe that most of us roll around with the snakes that end up biting us. All right? And so, and again, myself as an example, in my case, I think I always have, and music is something that's big. It's huge when it comes to helping us to transform energies and alchemize and change our moods, change our energy flow. Music is extremely, extremely important. I've mentioned often how Michael Jackson said, when asked how does he get his lyrics, because they're so unique, and his dance moves and all that, he said Most High gives them to him when he's sleeping. And so music can be extremely instrumental, and yes, pun intended, because it's frequencies, and it's a bunch of different frequencies, right? And those frequencies speak to our sacral chakra. This is why dancing can do so much to change your mood. So dancing can transform or alchemize a negative feeling, negative energy, or whatever. This is why you just get up and dance. Josh Turner made a song called Why Don't We Just Dance, right? Baby, why don't we just turn that TV off? 315 channels of nothing but bad news on. Right? Josh Turner, that was the last concert I went to, actually. Some years ago. But yes, his wife is his keyboardist. I think that's pretty neat. But yeah, so just sometimes it's good to just turn on the music, turn off the TV, and baby, why don't we just dance, right? That helps the root chakra. That does so much for you. Just that alone. That's why when girlfriends are like, go out and dance, they know, right? And often females and feminine energy. So if you are a feminine, meaning human feminine, you are a feminine. You are a spiritual feminine. You could be. We all have feminine and masculine spiritual energies, or energies. Or you could be a divine feminine, and you could be a male, right? Or a female, okay? And so pay attention to the text or the context in which those terms are used, whether it's on this channel or others. Definitely use your discernment in those things. Okay, so dancing is a beautiful way. Okay. Another way to alchemize energy is to do the opposite when you're feeling bad. Okay? So, if you're feeling bad, sad, or depressed, and now here's where discernment comes in. There are times when you need to be isolated because Most High wants to work with you. He wants to help you see some things about yourself, draw you in closer, right? Because this is how we get to our highest, truest, purest version of ourselves on this 3D planet, right? This is how. Not through a book and through religion, but through personal relationship, divine connection to Most High. That is how we get it. That is how we ascend. People who are religious are in the same place today that they were 30 years ago, 20 years ago, 10 years ago. Guaranteed. If you leave them today and you come back 10 years from today, those religious people, unless they have awakened, will be in the same place, making approximately the same amount of money, doing approximately the same thing that they were doing 10 years ago. The kingdom is ever evolving. The kingdom is ever evolving. And so we as man here in human form, we need to constantly transform and transmute also here in the 3D. Okay? So singing. Okay? So singing is a beautiful way to alchemize your energy. So if you're feeling sad or depressed, turn on something, again, doing the opposite of what you feel in those moments in order to alchemize the energy. Again, even if it's just a physical act of doing it, you may not feel like it. Do you know how many things I do that Most High asks me to do that I don't feel like doing, but I do out of obedience and out of unconditional love for Him and appreciation and gratefulness for what He and my angelic entourage is doing for me? I do it anyway. Okay? I do it anyway because I understand that it's far less about this place, and it's about the grandiose picture and what we are here to do, not just me, but the entire collective, right? All of His angels, all of His earth angels, all of His starseeds, all of His light workers, all of His ascended masters, okay? All of His ancestors. So singing is a beautiful way. So, and again, it could be whatever you want, right? I go all over the board, right? Today, I might be feeling like I need to listen to Tupac because Tupac is telling me how I really shouldn't look at the world. And once I learn the game, then I learn how to deal in this matrix, right? Then tomorrow I might be listening to Eric Clapton. I might be listening to Red Hot Chili Peppers, right? The next day, right? Whatever that is, right? But music and singing is extremely transformational when it comes to your energy. And it helps you alchemize. your energy and situations. Okay. So one of the other things that you can do, in addition to the music, is you can imagine. Okay, and I've often talked about this. I told a story about how Judy, I don't know, I probably was 5 or 6 years old or something, and we were on a city bus when we lived in Joliet in the projects, and she would, we took public transportation all of the time. And she said, one year, I was on the bus, we were, I don't know, coming from the store perhaps or something, and she said, I was just singing Christmas songs, just like in my own little world, right? So imagination. And she said she kept telling me to be quiet, and I wouldn't stop singing. It's probably trying to bring some fucking sunshine into that place, into her life. She suffered from depression when I was growing up because of the lack of faith in her own self and the lack of loving her own self. So, yeah. But yeah, that's a funny story. And today when I think about it, that's who I am. I am that sunshine. That's who I am. That's who I was created to be. And you are who you are, whatever that happens to be. Right? I love how I'm seeing and learning about our our spirit and our energy, and how that is really us and not this human form. And my goal is to get so far away from functioning through the human form that my mind, the brain, this brain, not my mind, it's not mine, this brain in the skull is used so infrequently, right? Because I'm so focused on, or I'm so high, right? And again, that's not a 420 thing, right? I'm so high that 420 might be an important number for someone. It might be your birthday or something. I don't know why I said 420. But other than the obvious reason, I mean, the number, right, means something. So, people often talk about being so spiritually minded that you're no earthly good. I believe that it's possible. That's possible in a religious sort of environment. I do not think that's possible when you are living spiritually, because you are completely aware. So you know when you need to go and connect with people. You know when you need to go and connect with the earth. You know when you need to be in solitude. So for me, I don't think that applies to those who are seeking a spiritual life and experience here on the earth with Most High, as opposed to a religious one that has you going to church doing the same thing over and over again every week, expecting a different result. Okay? This is why I believe religious lives move so slowly. When I say move so slowly, I mean in the prosperity of things. This is why I believe that, because it's religiousness. And every now and then they get a concept right. They get a principle correct, or they hang on long enough to see some miracle show up. But again, you want to separate those who are really truly connected to Most High, right? I speak about looking at the fruit on the tree, and that's not a bank account, because that is deceiving, right? I show you my bank account today, you might laugh, but I guarantee you what, if I'm directed to heal you, I could say 4 words and you'd be made well, if you believed those words and believed that you could be healed. I believe that today. So the physical bank account matters in the natural, but spiritually speaking, it doesn't. In regards to your gifts, your talents, your abilities, your anointings, your prophecy, why you're here, you being your purest, highest, truest self has nothing to do with it. No, that's just an earthly thing that Most High chooses to bless us with at various times. There are criminals that come in and take things from us, rob, steal, kill, destroy, right? I'm going through one of those situations now. If they happen to be listening, I will be pressing charges. There will be a court case. And no, I'm not accepting your offers. No, I'm not accepting your bribes. Do not send anyone over here to talk to me, because I'm not talking to them unless they are an official individual. Who is that? An attorney, a police officer. That is not the one that the karmic was involved with that did the illegal work in Volusia County or whatever county they're a police officer in. Not those, but awakened and enlightened law officials. That's what we need. Okay? So, dancing, singing. Now I want to talk about water. Okay? So water is extremely transformational and can be used to alchemize your energy. And it could be used to alchemize your energy through a salt bath. It could be alchemized to use your alchemize, or it could be used to alchemize your energy for transforming things. So, for instance, right? And I remember hearing this years ago, many years ago. I don't even remember where I heard it, but I remember someone said, like, I don't know, centuries ago, maybe not even centuries ago, maybe just some decades ago. But anyway, decades meaning early 1900s, maybe, I'm not sure. But there's something about a bowl of water or a glass of water at your bedside every night, right? And how your dreams will become more lucid, right? And I dream so often, whether there's water next to me or not, I don't do that. I did it going through the dark night of the soul, however. I did do it then. That started in 2021. I did do it. And I don't recall if my dreams were more lucid. I was so broken at that point in time because of the whole false fallen twin flame situation, that all I wanted to do was heal. I wasn't interested in, I don't know. All I wanted to do was just get through whatever it was that I needed to get through, because I knew in me there was no way around it. I couldn't get out of it. I couldn't go back. I couldn't go forward. I couldn't go anywhere. I had to sit there and I had to go through that process and pull myself up out of the mud. I had to do that. And no one can do that for you. No one can spiritually do that for you. You are not going to be sitting next to Most High because of what your parents did, or because of what your brother or your sister did. You are going to be sitting next to Most High or in purgatory because of what you do, how you function. You and you alone. You're not standing before Most High and He's saying, here's your judgment time, where are your parents? He's not saying that. He's coming to you and you alone, because you and you alone have free will to do whatever the hell you want to do, or the heaven you want to do. You have free will to do that, whatever that is, every day. You can choose to wake up and send witchcraft out to people if you want to. You can choose to wake up and send unconditional love if you want to. You can wake up and choose to do whatever you want to do in life. You might think like you can't leave your job. That job is lying to you. That's false security. A job is just over broke, and it will never provide you the resources that you need in order for you to retire. Never. Not a job. If you're the CEO of IBM, you make a lot of money. But that job still owns you. Mentally, emotionally, it owns you. Physically, it owns you. Okay? The only real way to be financially free is to own it yourself. That's the only way. because otherwise, humans are greedy. Okay? So that's the reason why I'm in the situation I'm in, is because of greed and jealousy. So I did not know that my fallen twin flame was jealous of me. My perception was that we were going to build this empire together. Me being who I am, I couldn't imagine why someone would misconstrue that and be jealous of it. Like, I give unconditional love. Why would you be jealous of me? I share. I give. Do you know how many packages, gifts I've given to children? Like, I just send them to their addresses. Do you know? I've done that for a year at a time with one child. And I've done that, I think, 3 or 4 different times over the years. For an entire 12-month period. I just send kids gifts. Just bless them. Just send them gifts. Whatever they love, it doesn't matter. I just send it to them. All right? I've done that. I did that for years in Florida. That's how I know my harvest is going to be a big-ass motherfucker. It is. Because I know how faithful I am. Right? And you should be confident in your faithfulness. Now, if you're not, then you have an opportunity to correct that. Okay, so water. Water is a great alchemizer. Water is called the universal solvent. Why is water called the universal solvent? Because water does things that no other liquid can do, even if you add something to the water. Water in and of itself is its purest, truest form. Before we add Kool-Aid to it, I don't drink Kool-Aid. I haven't drank Kool-Aid probably since I was a kid. And I was living with Judy, because the sperm donor, Kevin, he didn't believe in Kool-Aid and soda, which I actually appreciate today. So, yeah, because I don't drink soda. If I drink a soda, I know I've gone years without drinking a soda. I don't know. I think this year I've actually maybe had 2 sodas. Maybe. I think I've had 2 sodas this year. And so, but the clearer, the purer the water, right? Just its natural source. That's why water in streams, right? Some of the best water you could ever get. Just right out there in nature, rolling over the rocks. Okay? So water cleanses, water purifies. Florida water is extremely, extremely beneficial when it comes to cleansing your energy. Whether you spray, you could spray a mist, you could pour it into a spray bottle and spray the Florida water into the air. You could spray it on yourself, right? It's extremely healing. Alchemizing energy, evil energies that people send you who you are completely unaware of who their first and last names are. The other day I showed you an egg cleanse, or the results of an egg cleanse, and explained the process. Okay, you could see through the second part of that, on the part 2 of that video, you can see the end results from that egg cleanse. That represents the things, negative energy that I've absorbed that was still lingering. Okay? And so, extremely important. And again, that egg is placed in water. Why do you think baptisms are done in water? There's so much to be said about water and how it can alchemize things for you. Okay? So, again, use as directed. Perhaps look up some ways that you could use water to alchemize your energy. And so, yes. So water, Florida water, either, both. And so, when it comes to, I mentioned sage or smudging. I mention that all the time. That's in That's an easy one. That's probably the first one that most people think of when they think of clearing your energy. They think of either Palo Santo or sage. Okay. But I also, so I was talking about singing. I make up songs. I make up songs all the time, or alchemize songs that were made here. So for instance, I am a huge Taylor Dane. I'm really probably like a groupie. Or a, I don't know. I don't know. But since the 80s, Taylor Dane has, she's amazing to me. She really, really is. And so, one of the songs she sings is, I'll Always Love You, right? And I've sung this song to Most High, I don't know how many times, right? So I do stuff like that because it helps me become closer to him. I take songs that whatever, and I change the words even as I'm listening to the songs, right? I'm going down the road and the music's cranked up or whatever. I'm listening to through my earbuds. If I'm just sitting, and if I decide to sing and feel the unction, I just start singing, and I start adding in words in places or repeating certain phrases, right? Let me see. I'm thinking of a phrase that, in a song in particular. Let me see. Oh, so Ice Cube says, I want to say it's in Jack in a Box. Mama, don't be mad, I got to show my ass and thank these motherfuckers for my past. I gotta let them know I never break like glass. What you looking at is top-notch world class, right? I sing that, right? I sing that. Why? Because you are top-notch world class. Whether you realize it today or not, you still sleep, right? Another part of that song, he says, I was sent to the world by God. Right? And so lyrics, words, whether you write them, sing them, extremely alchemizing. If you are an artist of any kind, you paint, you draw, you play an instrument, you sing, these are amazing ways that we can alchemize energy here on the earth to help ourselves and heal ourselves and to help and heal others. Amazing ways. This is why music is healing. This is why. Because of all of its qualities. Okay? So, walking outside, okay? Walking outside can alchemize your energy. Walking outside without shoes on, specifically in the grass or field or what have you, can be alchemizing and balancing, okay, because of your root chakra. Okay? This is another way we can alchemize our energy. Okay? You imagine a red light, right? A red light that is placed at your tailbone, right? That shines through your body, right? And so that red light is shining through you, and you close your eyes, if you're meditating or if you're just sitting there, right? And you imagine that red light shining, right? Bright through you, okay? That is a way that I balance that root chakra. Okay. I mentioned writing. Writing can be extremely beneficial in healing. So if you do not have a journal, transmuting and alchemizing energy, writing is a way to do that. Because as a writer, you are a scribe, you are an illustrator. Even if you're not an artist in that way, as far as figures or objects or what have you. Your words, that is art. Okay, so you are a scribe. Right? If you don't have a journal, I encourage you to get one. I have a manifesting journal, and I'll be honest, I definitely don't use it as often. When I first got it, I did. I don't use it as often as I used to, because I focus on more on other techniques that I believe are more beneficial. But a journal is always beneficial, because you need to write down your dreams. You need to write down the downloads that Most High gives you. You need to write down record certain events, okay? Certain meaningful events and things that happen to you, synchronicities, acknowledgments, and things, right? And it's a way to record. And the Bible's still being written. And needs to be rewritten, by the way. All right. So the food that you eat. Okay. So from the 23rd, 24th, and 25th, I was on a water cleanse, water only. Okay. I am a kidney transplant recipient, so any fast that I do, it'll be water only at a minimum, right? Just to be wiser, unless Most High says no. And then obviously I wouldn't do it then, even though man says that would be dumb. A doctor might say, I don't know if you'd want to do that. I'd tell that doctor, did you create you? No, you did not, doctor. So you have limited thinking. So don't tell me how to live my life. No doctor, and I've seen many, no doctor ever told me, I need you to pray for your kidney transplant. I need you to believe for your kidney transplant and say, I don't need dialysis. I'm just here to socialize. I need you to say that. No doctor ever told me that. Most High gave me that download himself. Never, ever, ever trust another man's word over what Most High tells you. Never, ever, ever trust another man's word. This is such a huge downfall of humans. Such a huge downfall. That's why we go to church every week and multiple times a week. This is why many cultures have you spending the majority of your time at a church, because they want you to trust man and not God. This is why. Okay? Transmute that energy and get the fuck out of that church. Because and again, not all, there are churches that are doing the best that they know how to do in the times that they know how to do them. But I'm here to shake it up, man. I'm here to shake it up. Because there are times when you need to accelerate processes, or times when delays have happened and now it's time to catapult a process, right? So I believe that time is now. Okay? So transforming and transmuting negative energies, feelings, it doesn't matter what it is, depression, sadness, loneliness, anxiety, whatever it happens to be. It is all energetically based. And Nikola Tesla was a lifelong bachelor and did not engage in sexual intercourse very often, because he believed that took the focus away from the purpose for which he's here. That's an interesting thought. He obviously accomplished a great deal and opened up our eyes, if you're willing to see what he was saying, opened up our eyes to see a whole lot. So he might have a point, at least for a season. I've been celibate for a year and a half. Yep, I've been celibate for a year and a half now. So, or close to it. Maybe January will make a year and a half. But I did that. I cut that off, and I've been celibate for a longer period of time than this period of time. In 2007, I ended a relationship, and or she ended it, and that sent me into, again, a spiritual awakening, but not like this twin flame awakening. That sent me into a certain awakening, and that helped me to ascend to a certain level. So in 2008, I rededicated myself to Most High and told him that I don't care what happens. I don't care what happens. I literally told him this. I don't care what happens. I will never walk away from you again. I will never. When I got out of the military, I was so hungry because I knew he was preparing me for something amazing and wonderful. And he sent me to a man who taught me some things, but I believe that relationship could have went further. And we could have done more. So, okay, so let me tell you what this looks like. And I didn't plan on sharing this for this transformation, but here we are. So, so his name is Steve, and I was sent there from Fort Huachuca, Arizona, from out of military intelligence school. Back in 2003, I was getting cassette tapes starting in October of 2002. 2002. 2002. Why was I having a difficult time saying that? So I started getting cassette tapes from over there from a friend. I was actually dating her at the time, who was sending me cassette tapes. Okay. I knew when I first heard his first message that this is where I needed to be. I was going to have a conversation with Kevin, the sperm donor, and let him know, he was a reverend, let him know that I was not going to be returning to him, that family, his church, or anything else moving forward, but I was getting out of the military, and his desire for me to go to war and be unalived, because that's what his prayer was not going to happen. Because I was ETSing out of the military. He was speechless for the first time in my life. How old was I at that time? 28? He was speechless. Because he knew, oh, shit, he's not going to be deployed. Damn, prayer didn't work. My witchcraft didn't work. My Ouija board didn't work. Because that's what he uses. He used them in the church and his office. So, I was sent to this man. His birth date is 11/26. Mine is 11/29. That's 3 days apart. But we are also 10 years apart. So there's a 10 and there's a 3. We are the same height. We just wear the same shoe size. I'm telling you stuff he probably doesn't even know. When I got there, they were, and I was eager to be there. I was happy, excited, motivated, inspired, loved what he was saying, because it was the truth, at least as far as where my maturity level was at that time. It was. And then, obviously, the years go by, time goes, right? Time doesn't stop. I believe that there was so much more that we were supposed to accomplish in the 20 years that I was there on that mission. He was sent there and told that he was sent there, he was going to the land of the giants, where I slayed the giant this year. And that giant will be arrested. That coven will be taken down in January or February of this year, of the upcoming year. I am expecting a phone call, an email, a physical visit by some official to confirm this. But I believe we could have done so much more in that 20 years, him and I, than what we did. So when I first got there, they were trying to put me in every position possible. And I enjoyed it. And back then, I don't even know how many people. It was a storefront. It was in a plaza at the time. So I don't know how many people were there. Maybe 80 or so people were there at the time I got there. 80, 100 maybe. And so eventually, purchasing a property and building out on that property is where the building currently is and where they currently meet. But yeah, so I know for a fact that Most High sent me there, and he sent me there for a mission. Now, this is what we can't get caught up on. When he says the mission is done and it's time to move on to the next mission, you can't get caught up on what you didn't do or what you think you missed or what you think you didn't get or what you think you didn't see or what you didn't think you heard or the friends or the whatever. Because the truth of the matter is, those who are meant to stay with you will stay with you. Those who are meant to fall by the wayside, if you do not try to hang on to them and you allow and release, okay? Allow and release, meaning allow spirit to do what spirit wants to do. Allow your ancestors to do what they want to do. Allow and release those things that no longer serve your good. You can't put new wine in old vats. Okay, it's not wise to put old wine in new vats. Again, spiritually speaking. Okay? Do you want to hang around the same people you used to hang around with before you came to know God? Absolutely not. So why do you try to hang on to friends when the seasons come to an end? And I didn't mean to rhyme, but I'm sublime. Right? So, transmuting and alchemizing our energy is an amazing, amazing way. I started talking about the things we eat. And again, I like delicious tasting, buttery food just like everybody else. I probably don't like other things that people do, so there are things that are absolutely disgusting, like chitterlings and things that people eat that are just disgusting. I mean, you want to eat an animal's intestines? Like, that's just gross. And not to mention, they smell exactly like what they are. I mean, like, you eat that stuff, and then you wonder why brown people have heart issues? Really? Or the number one cause for brown people is heart conditions, heart attacks, and you wonder? Right? I've never really been a huge fan, not as an adult, of fried chicken because I had so much of it as a kid. We didn't have it every Sunday, but it felt like Judy cooked it every Sunday. We probably had it twice a month on a Sunday, but it was the Sunday meal. And in fact, people from church, she was locally famous for her fried chicken. I mean, like, I think one of the neighbors painted my sister's bedroom for some chicken. Like, it was that famous around there. So people would gather over a house between services, because Sunday service, Church of God in Christ, they have 15 services in 1 week. And they still lying, cheating, sleeping with the deacon's wife, the pastor's wife, so-and-so. I'm telling you, man, I lived it. I lived the polygamy. I lived it. I lived in it. I watched him tear families apart and steal their wives and kick their husbands to the curb and their kids and make these wives leave their husbands and leave their children and be with him. I watched the sperm donor do this. He did it to me. He took my wife and my child when I was in Germany. And I have not had any interaction or communication with them since. And that was 1998. Well, I'm sorry, that was 2003, the last time I saw her, before 2010, when the FBI busted down the door. By then, she was so brainwashed, she wanted nothing to do with me. I lived it. So you can't tell me it's not real. You can't tell me spirituality and witchcraft doesn't work. You can't tell me that. because I lived it and I live it. And so don't forget every day when I open my eyes, I thank Most High for the day, life, health, and strength, food, clothing, and shelter. I do not ask for more money. I do not ask for anything in a material form other than life, health, and strength. If there is something that I'm specifically needing, then I will ask direction for that, or how to get that, or how about going acquiring that, or what have you. One, it's not illegal. I guarantee you that, right? So this week, the phrase this week, and I think it started on Christmas Day, maybe the day before, during my water cleanse. It was, sorry if it was still rubbing against the earbud. I think I just heard that. Meaning making a scratchy noise on the recording. I apologize. But the phrase this week, it keeps popping up. And that phrase is, I stopped to talk about the earbud and then I forgot what it was. I was just thinking of it. But yes, so don't forget to alchemize. Again, in the morning, I wake up in the morning, I give thanks. I do that before my feet hit the ground, before these feet hit the ground, right? I light sage, I smudge a little, right? Clean my overnight energy, because the enemy works most in the dark. The enemy works when you are physically sleeping. Physically sleeping, the enemy is sleeping. When you are physically sleeping, the enemy is sneaking. Okay? Remember that. So your thoughts before you go to bed are extremely important. You might want to do some sleep time meditations or sleep gnosis or something. When you lay down, it's extremely important that you recognize where you are energetically before you close your eyes. Because the enemy is lurking in the dark, in the shadow places. This is why it's important for us to not ignore our shadow places. And we need to explore those areas, or go through those areas, or acknowledge those areas, or whatever that is. We need to do that because that is part of us. And without the dark, you would not be able to distinguish the light. So you need the dark. You hear that motorcycle? Confirmation. Just start up. So you need the dark in order to identify the light, and vice versa. You need evil in order to distinguish the good, and vice versa. Okay? This is why the blacks versus whites is so dumb, because it's literally polar opposites and they're planting us against one another. That's why that's so dumb. And I don't claim to be black. I'm brown. Check my skin color. Right? My eyebrows are black. My eyelashes are black. My pupils are black. Right? Not my skin color. It's brown. If I went to my teacher today and said, "Hi, teacher." Damn. This is really hitting home right now. Son of a bitch. If I went to my teacher, I had a teacher in elementary school, Miss Neville. She taught me and my mother. That's how long she was in the school system, in that school. I think she taught for 30-something years. Yep. And she lived in Chicago and traveled to Lockport, Illinois to teach for I don't even know how many years. Yep, sure did. And so if you went to your teacher and you had a paper, and the paper had a black dot on it, and the paper had a brown dot on it, and you asked that teacher, what which one of these if I did, which one of these do my skin most closely matches? The teacher would point to the brown one. So why do you call me black? We don't call Asians ecru. What the fuck? And ecru is an off-white color, just FYI, right? Okay. We don't call anyone tanned people beige. Again, really? That was such a revelational thought just now. Asking my teacher to tell me which color is my skin based on this color spectrum. God, I don't know why that's so, I don't know why that's glaringly, like, I don't know why that's getting me. Because it's so true. It just, yeah. So anyway, thank you so much for tuning in. If you are looking for ways to go about being your highest, purest, truest version of yourself, this is one of the places, not the only place. This is one of the places that you can find the encouragement, the nourishment, the strength, the words of wisdom to do that. Okay? So I share my healing power and strength with you. I share my spiritual general strength with you. I share my warrior strength with you. If you are in true pursuit of your highest, truest form. If you're not, you can't have this, and I'm not sharing it with you, and you can't take it because you need authorization. So if you attempt to take it, as those in that coven have attempted to do, then you will find out what happens. You will be arrested or you will be unalived, and not physically unalived by me, because I don't do that. Okay? If it was left up to me, I probably would, but I don't do that. I function through unconditional love, and that is how I heal. Okay? It's easy for me to get angry, right? I could do that. I could lose control and just go off. I did that once in 2 years with that fallen twin flame. I did that once. And when I say I went off, I did. I went off. I called her slutty. I said, I can't believe I almost married your slutty ass. I posted on Facebook, that's why they call you bitch, like by Tupac. And I said the churches let these people, these false ass people in their churches, and they let lesbians and people who love and are in love and have secret relationships with transvestites, they let these people teach their children. You fucking fools. I went ballistic. I went off after I called her, and she denied being in a relationship with a woman who got fucking chest implants. A guy who got chest implants. She probably gave him the money to do that shit. That's why she was stealing from me. PPP loan or whatever the fuck they did with my companies. Yeah, my EIN number. You want to know why I went off after 2 years? Yeah, I was plenty patient. Because I was dealing with it for 2 years. I left her in 2021. Okay? So, that minister, Steve, right? Same guy. This is why I don't have the respect for him today that I do. Okay? I forgive him, but I don't have the respect for him that I once did. I sent him 2 emails. The first email explained to him who she was. Really. He didn't believe me. He said, Kevin, that's not true. That's not happening. That is not who she is. I said, Steve, you are full of shit in my mind. Right? And I did send type an email. And Holy Spirit was like, don't do that. You're going to burn a bridge. Don't send that email. I was irate. I was irate. So I waited. I waited. I waited. I waited. I waited. Right? So I sent him an apology. He sends me an email and says, and she was copied on the email. He says, Kevin, there is no way. Right? I told him, I said, absolutely. Absolutely. So I sent her an apology and him. I knew immediately when I sent that apology, I was like, that's bullshit. I knew it immediately. I sent that to fucking satisfy them. I knew immediately when I sent that email. I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry for telling the truth, right? And so then I got to Arizona. No one knew I was leaving Florida. I got to Arizona, and so they probably went by the same house, right? In Deltona. They probably went by the same house looking for me, coming to find out doppelgangers, stalkers, gang stalkers, whoever you are, putting stuff on the fucking doorsteps and shit. You found out that I was no longer there. Going through my trash. Why are you going through my trash? Stealing my mail? That's illegal. Right? So the confused fucker in Charlotte, North Carolina is the transvestite. They got the breast implants. Okay? And yes, I don't agree with that, because I believe if you can't believe in Most High and believe that he also makes mistakes as grandiose as making you a sex that you were not meant to be on this earth. Bullshit all day, every day, 24/7, 365, 366. No way. No way did he make you with a penis, but you were meant to have a vagina. Nowhere he made you a vagina and you were meant to have a dick. No fucking way. No way. No way he gave you a chest and you were meant to have breast. No way he gave you breast and you were meant to have a chest. Bullshit. 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 We all have free will, but bullshit. I'm not changing myself into a fucking woman. Do you know he birthed me to stand up and piss in this lifetime? And to carry the sperm? What the fuck I look like changing that into fucking eggs? What the hell? Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. And then again, I don't care what your opinion is. We all have our own opinion. And again, yes, like the military and everybody else says, they are like a-holes, and yet we all got one. So we can all have our opinion. I fought 8 years for you to have your free opinion and be able to speak your free will and have free speech. I fought 8 years for you to do that. I'm going to do that because I fought also for my freedom to do that. So if you don't like what I'm saying, check off the fucking channel. Deuces and all the best to you. Unconditional love, baby. Right? Because that's bullshit. And he chose to ignore what I sent him. So I sent him an email after I got here. And I let him know that I typed up that email, but I didn't send it. Okay? I told him I forgive him. He never replied. I told him I forgive her. I never replied. I told him I thank him for his faithfulness to me in whatever ways those were. And it was a joy to be a part of his house. And the sowing that I sold into him, and them, the people at that house, and the ways in which they sold into me, I am thankful. And I left it at that. No malice, no hate, because I'm not carrying that, because I know that would hinder me. That's an anchor. Okay, that's a brick. When I was made to float. Okay? So you need to do what you know is right, despite whatever the other individuals are doing. And this is a difficult thing, especially when they're friends, besties, BFFs, 20, 30, plus year friends, right? They live right there. Your kids go to school with them, or your kids grew up together, or you have all these memories and all these pictures and all that. It's tough to break away. But when you know it's time, if you don't do it, you will go down just like they do. What do I mean? In the blaze of glory. I don't know why that just came to my mind, right? Going down in the blaze of glory. Why? Because you traded your passions for glory. You trade your passion for greed, for sexual stimulation, for fear of the new. Fear is false expectations appearing real. So fear is an illusion. Fear is just that. It's an illusion. Okay, so fear of walking away from anything is just an illusion and witchcraft to keep you in the same spot that you're in. That's all it is. So what do? You go to church and hear about Jesus Christ died on the cross for you and your sins. Next week, Jesus Christ died for you and your sins. Next week, Jesus Christ died for you and your sins. The following week, Jesus Christ died for you. And what's beyond the cross than Jesus dying for me? Somebody please help me out. How the hell do I get from beyond the cross? How? Somebody help me. Right? How do I get up from the cross and from being under the altar? How do I do that? How do I resurrect this? How do I do that? Well, you got to pray. You got to tithe. Bullshit. You got to love yourself and you got to know who you are. Get to know you. Not by men's voice, but by your own intuition, your own crown chakra revelation downloads, your own third eye sight, your own heart chakra healing, your own solar plexus healing, your own sacral chakra healing, and not screwing everything that opens his legs or stick something out, right? Protect yourself. You want to know how to transform that energy? Stop having sex with everybody. Having random sex partners. You don't even know their last name. You don't even know their middle initial. Thank you so much for tuning in. You've been tuned in to The Encourager. My email, I still don't remember to do this all of the time. My email address, if you're wanting to get in touch with me, is theencourager333@gmail. Okay. And thank you so much for tuning in. To the subscribers, to the returning listeners, to the new listeners, thank you so much. This channel serves the purpose of human enlightenment. And again, to help us to become the highest, purest, truest version of ourselves possible. And we can only do that when we take accountability for ourselves and not blaming others for where we are in life. Okay? Because we have free will. You don't have to do what God says. Most High says. You don't have to. You have free will. You don't have to go to church next week. You can stay home and meditate. You have free will. You don't have to read your Bible every day as a quota. You can put the Bible down and go walk in the grass and reground your energy instead. Okay? You don't have to go to Bible study. You could study your birth chart, your natal chart. You learn more about yourself if you studied your natal chart than you ever will in that book. I guarantee you. Guaranteed. Because the stuff that you need to know that was written, that should have been in that book, was removed. Okay, so the things that does talk about your energy were removed. Meditation were removed. Yes, Most High talked to us about meditation. There were those that he has given the words to and the voice to before this lifetime to share those secrets, if you will. They're not secrets. He doesn't keep them from us. Man does. Humans do. Not man. Humans keep them from man. Right? And so that's what the purpose of this channel is for. That's why it's here. Okay? to share my journey with you, to be honest, open with you, never clouding anything. Even if that means shaming this. I heard Kobe say something one time, and I remember this, and this helped me so much through my dark night of the soul. He said his rookie year, and I know it's true, but his rookie year, at one point, I don't know who they were playing and all of that, but he had shot like, I don't even know how many air balls, like 5 air balls in a row or something like that. And he said, when he was interviewed, he asked if he was embarrassed. He said, yeah, at first, but then he realized he didn't care what anyone else thought, and he wasn't that important, right? And at first I was like, what does he mean by that? So if you walk bold enough to where you are never embarrassed, right? That means you can go further because there's no shame in your game. Again, pun intended for Kobe Bean. Bless you, brother. I love you and Gigi. Right? We're connected. All right? So, yeah. And I believe that I'll be doing something focused on him at some point in time soon. I mean, not soon. I don't know. I said soon. I didn't mean to say soon. See? Look at that. As it spews from these lips, may they be the words of Most High Yahweh God, deity, and no one else. Not even of me. Not even of me. Okay? But of the I am. Okay? But I do have a strong desire to do something, to put something together. I don't know if it's a book but I want to definitely put something together. And again, I'm thinking in my mind over time, but I said soon. So I don't know what that means, but definitely put something together to him that from a loving fan's perspective, that goes into him and his, just from another point of view shows, and I'm not the only one. There's been books written by other people other than him, right, that are available today. But I know that there's a connection there, and I love it. I'm honored to have it, and his mentality is my mentality. He just happened to play on a basketball court, and mine is in the spirit. Right? But every day I wake up, spiritually speaking, I really do feel like I'm as strong as I need to be on any given day, on any given Sunday. I'm as strong as I need to be. When my strength needs to be more, I got more, and I get more. All the spell work and all of that stuff, you can alchemize that stuff to where it becomes banaka to you. So it becomes something that's a spinach to your Popeye, right? And that's what I did. So they kept sending spell work, and literally my muscles just kept getting bigger. I just kept getting stronger. I just kept getting bigger, stronger. So then I went from Lou Ferrigno to being the Incredible Hulk. Then I went from that to being Wolverine. Then I went from Wolverine, right, and it just kept, every time it just transformed into something else. They didn't get it, and why I kept shooting down their darts, why their spell work didn't work, because I'm a chameleon. I was sent in to the camp of the enemy, like Steve said, the land of the giants. Yes, I was sent there, like him and his family. I was sent there to be a part of that house on a 20-year mission. That mission came to an end exactly 20 years after I started getting cassette tapes. October of 2022, that's when that ended. I actually stopped going in September. and then relocated to Arizona in August of 2023. So, to them, I don't know if I have no idea if any of them listen to I don't know, I don't have communication with anyone. And most of them I have blocked on social media. And I do that just because there's no need to have interaction with the enemy when the enemy doesn't. Who's the enemy? The enemy is the one that doesn't recognize truth when truth is released. That's the enemy. That's the enemy. When truth isn't recognized, when it is released, that's the enemy. That's who Most High sees the enemy as. The devil, Beelzebub, Lucifer, wanted to be top-notch Most High deity. Guess what? Most High reminded him, that's not your position. He released truth. The devil decided he didn't like it, so guess what? He got evicted. And that's what you have to do. When there's a truth about you that you see and you know it's true, don't deny it for the sake of friends. Don't deny it because, again, you will slide into hell just like they will. Okay? Don't fall for their okey doke. Believe the truth because the truth is the one that sets you free. Free in your mind, free in your spirit, free in your soul. Free emotionally. I had to free myself emotionally. Woo! There's a mountain right there. Because I was giving unconditional love and I was in love. And I thought she was the love of my life. But from day one, I don't even know if she's really a kidney I don't even know if she's really had a kidney removed. That might be a lie. She told me that when we met. It's a synchronicity thing because I'm a kidney transplant recipient. I don't know if she really. Right? But that doesn't matter today. Why? Because all the lies, all the witchcraft, all the manipulation, the stealing, cheating, it didn't stop me. I think she was married before we met. She was dishonest about that. It broke me. I healed. Right? The motherfuckers can't touch me. They can't. And you should have the same amount of confidence in yourself to guide you in your life, not someone else guiding you or living your life according to someone else's standards. You living your life according to your own standards and revelations and your divine relationship with Most High. Okay? That is the only connection that really, truly, ultimately matters. But what about? Nope. But what about them? Nope. But what? Nope. For a time and a season is the reason for most friendships, relationships, not for a lifetime. Because we're called to experience different things and to interact with different people. What if you're called to relocate to Seattle and you're in D.C., but your spouse is like, oh, I don't want to go. But it's a divine mission for you. It might be a job, but it's a divine mission for you. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? These situations happen more times than we realize, but people shrug them off as just mere physical opportunities. Yeah, I didn't want the job because we didn't want to relocate. You know, me and Sarah, you know, we've been here for a while, and, you know, I just never realizing it was a divine appointment to go to that Seattle location. Making our decisions because of a human being being in our lives or not being in our lives is ludicrous. adherence to your inner self and your inner guidance, your inner compass is paramount. I can't stress that enough. I cannot stress that enough. Most of what you need to know is not in a book. Most of what you need to know, man cannot teach you. Humans cannot teach you. Humans will lie and hide from you. Most of what you need to know is in you, and downloads that come from Most High when you become awakened and enlightened to who you really truly are. 369 333 555 111 444 777 222. When you become aligned to who you really truly are. So how do we make fishers of men? Not through religiousness, and not by holding back the truth. Government, Vatican, skull, secret societies. That's not how we do it. They're just selfish-ass organizations that choose to control the world with their Illuminati. And yeah, that's real. Yep, MK Ultra and all those other things, those are real. There are places on this planet that contains alien species. Yes. That have been captured. Yes. They hide it from us. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Why? Because they don't want you to know that you're part extraterrestrial or you're some other being just wearing a flesh suit. They don't want you to know that. Right? They don't announce every time they go to the moon. You think so? Are they really going to the moon? What do you think? I know for sure that's not they don't announce every time they go to the moon. I know that for a fact. So thank you so much again for tuning in. I just wanted to make sure that I share everything that Most High wanted me to share at this time. And again, specifically about transforming and alchemizing your energy. You can do that. And it doesn't matter what it is. You could do that for financial reasons. You could do that for health reasons. Again, what you ingest. So if you want to help out your energetic spheres, eat some more vegetables. Eat green things, right? Because that helps. Green, grass, right? Eat green things, right? So the more vegetables and things, that's why you feel better. People think it's a physical thing. And in part it is, but it's far more of an energetic and a spiritual thing when you eat healthier and you feel better. Right? It really, really is. It can change your mood. Okay? So take care of yourself, right? Thanks so much for tuning in. My name is Nehru. You've been tuned into The Encourager. Be encouraged, be enlightened, and most divine source, Yahweh God, will help us to become our highest, truest, purest forms. But we have to be willing to do the work when work is needed, rest when rest is needed, right? And know the balance. Thank you for tuning in.